F1 has actually held another Grand Prix in the state of Florida, with Miami not being the only race in the state throughout history, but it was in an entirely different lifetime, and the series is basically unrecognisable when you put the two Grand Prix venues side by side. But where was this other track? Well, that track is more than still used in 2025. The Sebring International Raceway is most famous in 2025 for holding the 12-hour endurance race in the IMSA series, a definite highlight of the racing calendar if you ever want to check it out. But what about that race way back when? Sebring only ever hosted one F1 Grand Prix, in 1959. This GP was held with a relatively similar layout to what we know nowadays, with the major changes being that now it doesn't use any of the perimeter roads and primarily just the airfield. The final race of 1959 of course had championship implications, this time around for Jack Brabham, Stirling Moss and Tony Brooks, although Brabham was the heavy favourite, Brabham with 31 points, Moss with 25.5 and Brooks with 23. Just to note, the calendar was only 9 races long, and the points system was vastly different to what we have now, so ignore the low points tallies. Moss, Brabham and American Harry Schell was starting on the front row of 3 cars, with Brooks in 4th, although Schell's qualifying lap was a fraud, as after the race they found out he'd sliced a massive chunk off the circuit through a shortcut along with 7 seconds down on his previous best time. He retired on lap 6. The race was pretty straightforward, although that 4th place starting position caused Brooks to take damage from Von Trips behind on the first lap, making him pit for damage, which ended up being a 2-minute stop, taking him out the title running, although he did recover all the way to 3rd, somehow. Moss also retired from the race through mechanical failure 5 laps in of the 42, so Brabham essentially had the title provided he didn't DNF himself, as Brooks was still in the race at the end of the day. He'd run out of fuel 400 yards from the finish and he'd push his Cooper machine over the line, and it counted. Bruce McLaren became the sport's youngest ever winner at the time at 22 years and 3 months old, a record that would stand until Fernando Alonso at the 2003 Hungarian Grand Prix. Brabham and Cooper won their respective championships, the first of 3 for the Australian, but Sebring didn't win the future of F1, with the race being, for all intents and purposes, a financial wreck, only attracting half the crowd of the 12-hour sports car race. The next F1 Grand Prix in the US was held at Riverside, a circuit that sadly no longer exists.